Hello and welcome to Two Girls, One Pod. I'm Crystal.
I'm Melissa.
And don't forget, because I'm going to remember this, to, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Listen to us or even watch us on YouTube. We're everywhere that you listen to your podcasts. So get on it.
I'm really proud of us for remembering these last couple of times. You know what? It really did take Tina Thistle to fucking do the intro and remember it the first time to just like kick our ass into high gear, you know?
To up our game.
She's our supervisor now. Maybe that's what we'll call her. She'll be the Two Girls, One Pod supervisor.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Like she manages our sporadic moments.
She keeps us in check. She's going to keep us in check from now on. Tina,
right.
If you're listening, that's your new job. So,
right.
Anyway.
Yeah. So it's our Friday episode.
Yeah.
It's our regular episode, not Big Brother. So
if you're not a Big Brother fan, you can listen to this one.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it.
Exactly. The Friday episodes are for you.
Yeah. I think we only missed one episode. Did we miss 1 week since you've been gone? Like you went on holidays?
Yeah, I think we just took like a 1 week break.
Yeah, it feels like longer. I miss you. I'm so happy you're back.
I know. Me too.
All right. So we don't need to get into all the details. Crystal was on vacation. She up and left, but she's back now. We're friends again. So
yeah,
we will move on. One thing that I did want to talk about for this episode, because I know we've got a couple of like really fun episodes coming up. Like I know next Friday we're deep diving into some sexuality and some exciting topics. And
indeed.
I think the Friday after that, I believe, is that when we have Miss Cornelia on?
I think so.
Yeah, anybody listening, Cornelia Stiles is a local drag queen and she is going to be on the show. And I'm so fucking excited.
I know. Super pumped.
Like we've been back and forth, just kind of chatting on Instagram for a while. And like, it's going to be a good episode.
It is, definitely. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of, as Tina would say, a mixed bag of tricks coming for you soon.
Indeed.
So, tonight's episode, we just have a couple of random things to get into. So I was on Instagram and let me look it up so I can make sure to give them their proper referral. What would I call that? Like throwback to say who it was. If I can see the podcast. It was the Forbidden Fridays podcast.
Yeah.
We follow a page called Forbidden Fridays podcast. And they had a poll up and it said, I'm just curious, would you let your friend propose or get proposed to on your wedding day? And honestly, the no ways fucking like won out on that poll. Like I think it was like no way was 73% and like yes was 27%.
I can't say that I'm surprised.
Yeah, I thought it would be a really interesting topic for me and you to discuss because I don't know what your stance is. I thought maybe your stance was going to be the same as mine. So how do you feel about that on your wedding day? So the question is, if you were getting married, would you let your friend propose to their boyfriend or girlfriend or get proposed to at your wedding?
I'm 100% here for it. I think like super happy, fun day. Like why wouldn't you
do it? Right?
Yeah.
Same. Okay. So I thought we'd be on the same page.
And I know you were.
Oh my God. So, okay. When I was getting married, we went down south to get married and
best wedding ever.
It was so much fun. Like I highly recommend to anybody who is getting married. Like we did a resort in the Dominican Republic. We had a full fucking vacation. Like
so good.
And we spent like a quarter of what we would have spent if we had to have a wedding here. Now, I mean, anybody who came to the wedding spent a hell of a lot more than what they would if they came down to the fucking CLB Armory in St. John's, Newfoundland, let me tell you.
For sure. But the other side of it is that we all got a vacation out of it too. So like
we're also the type of couple who aren't going to be offended if you don't come to our wedding. If we're like, hey, can you please pay thousands of dollars to come watch us get married? If you don't do that, we're like, that's cool. Like, no hard feelings.
It is what it is.
We'll come back. We'll all have a party together. Like totally fine. But yeah, when we went down south, there was a couple of our friends, there's mutual friends between Crystal and I. We knew that our friend was proposing to his fiance and he had planned to propose like on the trip. And I kept saying, because I saw this video on YouTube where the woman throws the bouquet, and I think it was like her friend catches it, and then the guy catches the garter. No, her friend catches the bouquet. They rigged it so that they would throw it to this woman, and everybody else knew. They kind of like stayed away from her so that she could catch it.
Mm.
She caught it. And when she turned around, her boyfriend was on his knee and he was proposing. And I fucking died. I flipped over that. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Sweetest. Yeah.
So I tried to convince my buddy to do that at our wedding. I was like, but I could just like, I'll even turn around and walk the bouquet over to her, like, and you just be behind her and whatever. And he was like, no, I don't want to get into it. Like, I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. So ironically, she caught my bouquet anyway. Like,
She did.
I
Yeah.
didn't throw it to her. I was way too drunk to fucking care where I threw it. I just threw it. And he caught the garter again, did not set it up. Like, it was just one of those things that just happened. And then I was like, oh my God, he has to do it now. So they did get engaged on my wedding night. However, they did it. And I don't think it was a respect thing to me, because I was like dying. I'm like, come on, go get engaged to each other. Like, let's have another reason to celebrate. But he went, I think they went off for a little bit and like went back to the room to get something. And then he did it like in private, like just between the two of them. And that was more so, I guess, a testament to what their relationship was. Like, they didn't want a big show. They wanted it, between each other, which I totally get.
Yeah.
But I would have been really fucking thrilled if they had to get engaged at my wedding.
Yeah,
like, I would have been honored.
Yeah. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think that when you can tell who you can and can't do that at their wedding, because generally, let's be honest, most of the time the grooms don't give two fucks anyway.
Zero.
They're just there to get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
dun 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 dun. We're just kidding. We know that grooms want to get married too, guys. We're just joking.
But I like, it's not the same, I don't think. Now, and that's not to say that's a stereotype, sorry, and I don't mean to do that, because for some it is a really big deal, but for the most part, under general circumstances,
your experience.
Yes, in my experience, generally the men are just like, yeah, well, let's have this big old party.
Yeah.
And the women are just like, oh my God, I'm getting married. I mean,
huge deal, yeah.
That wasn't even really my experience, because we had a very small wedding. There was like 50
You got married in a dress from Eclipse, didn't you? You get it on sale for like $30.
It was $15. Like, $15. You know what I mean? But what I mean is that on a general basis, like, the women go a little more gaga over the wedding itself than, say, a groom, right?
Right.
But I do think that if you have somebody who's being like a super bridezilla, that shit's not flying.
Yeah, you're not going to want to propose at a bridezilla's wedding.
No.
I also don't get that. Like, I don't know. I hope I wasn't a bridezilla to you guys. Like, I didn't feel like a bridezilla. No. I feel like we put so much stress on ourselves when we're getting married, like that we forget what it is. We forget the reason that you're doing it, and it's expensive. Like, weddings are fucking fortune. Like, a cheap wedding dress nowadays is like $1,000, like a cheap one. Are you fucked? Like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? So, and that's just the dress. And then you got fucking rent in a hall. You got to hire a minister or a priest or whoever, like whatever you got to pay. DJ,
photographer, food,
and photographers. Like, talk about expensive. I looked at somebody's photography package the other day for a wedding package, and I was just like, oh my God. Like,
I'm in the wrong business.
Like, it's right. It's a business. And I mean, not that they don't deserve every penny.
Oh, they do.
That's a fucking day, but it's just like, it adds up so quickly when you're married. And when you're trying to line all of these things up perfectly, you're trying to get everything together. You're making a plan. You want it to be pretty. You want to try to save money, and, shit fucking happens. So stuff's falling apart. Things are getting canceled, whatever, I get the stress that comes to planning a wedding, but I also don't fully understand it, because I like to approach it as in try not to lose sight of why you're doing it. Like planning a wedding down south was stressful. Like we weren't
For
allowed to
sure.
plan anything. This is pre-COVID until a year out. It had to be at least a year out. And I think we had wanted to go down for 2 years or something. But they wouldn't even respond to my emails until it was like 8 months later, like 8 months to go. And anybody who's planning a wedding knows that like 8 months is a short window to plan something in. And there was a language barrier.
Yes.
So as we were going back and forth trying to make the plans, and I couldn't see anything in person, it was all like pictures, maybe videos if I saw them on YouTube. But like I just made light of it. I was like, okay, I guess that sounds nice. And I would pick something. And I think that if you go into planning your wedding with the mentality of, listen, shit is gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
Things are gonna fall apart. It's not all gonna work out. Then when things start getting fucked up and falling apart, you can make the light out of it as opposed
You can
to
roll with it.
Yeah, as opposed to like, it ruining your life,
Yeah.
because that day goes by so quickly, like so quickly.
Well, and then like, again, not from my own personal experience, because like, no joke, Jason and I threw our wedding together within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 weeks. And no, it was not a shotgun wedding. I mean, we already had a 3-year-old at that point.
We already had our kids.
Right. So, but like we just kind of like, I don't know, it was just a really quick type of thing. We just threw it together, and that's how it worked for us. But like, I just look at it like, most people plan these huge elaborate things and they get so stressed out about it, and then next thing you know, like the day goes by and do you even remember half of it?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
It's not only that, it's like, do you remember half of it? And what you remember you were mad about,
Right.
like, what a shitty memory if you were sat there thinking like, oh, I'm so mad the flowers didn't show up on time, or this got canceled, or I lost out on this deposit because this guy fucked off, or whatever, whatever issues happen. If you're like, if you're going around like a fucking bat out of hell, just yelling at people and trying to get stuff together and stressed out, like, you don't want that memory.
No, you're not enjoying that day.
Like butterflies and excited and party. Like we were drinking, like like we were getting our hair done, having mimosas.
Yeah, it was wicked.
And we had some fucking more champagne or whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure Drew was quite half cut by the time I got to the altar, and not in a way that like we didn't remember because we were loaded. Like we were just enjoying the day. It was sunny. Our friends were there. Our family was there. Our ceremony was 12 minutes long.
So good. It was so good.
12-minute ceremony.
And one of our friends fell into the river, the little moat that was.
Okay, so here's the thing. You cannot take your wedding day seriously. You need to have fun with it. When I was walking down the aisle, so a couple of things happened. I mean, you expect this. You want to turn and see your husband's face, and he's crying, or wife, or whoever, and they're crying, looking at you, and blah, 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 like in the movies, and Say Yes to the Dress and all these fucking shows. I was at the end of the aisle walking with Dad, and I was like, oh geez, like I started to kind of well up. And it's not because it's this big beautiful day, it was just it's like all these eyes are on you, and it's just kind of like nerves, really.
For
so
sure.
It was a beautiful day. Like, I love you, Drew. It was beautiful. I was crying for him too. But like, I start walking down the aisle, and I start thinking like, oh my God, I'm walking down the aisle at my wedding. Like, the reality hits you. So I started to like be about to kind of tear up. And as I go, I got stuck. I couldn't move any further. And when I looked, my dress was stuck in this, like, we got married at this fountain. It was fucking beautiful.
Beautiful.
So they had made this like little walkway over the water. So that's what I was walking over. And my dress got stuck in the wood, in like a piece of wood that was sticking up. And Dad bent down trying to fucking like unhook my dress. But he's got a bad back too. So he's like trying to get it. And then you see like a wedding planner and like a couple more people rushing over. And I'm just stood there at the end of the aisle. And my husband's looking at me. He can already see me. And and I'm just there kind of shrugging like, meh, like, guess this is it. Like, we're pause the music, everybody. So then they finally get me undone. And me and Dad start walking. The music is playing and me and Dad start walking. And we were chuckling down that aisle, and I had so much more fun because that happened, because now me and Dad are laughing about it.
Yeah.
And then I get to Drew, and all the groomsmen are fucking roaring. And
so
funny.
I
didn't know what had happened. And Drew whispered, he's like, Pittman fell in the pool.
Fell into the fountain.
He fell into the fountain. So one of the groomsmen is our good buddy of ours. He was standing up, and while he was standing up, I guess he went to like take a step backward, and his whole fucking foot went into the fountain, and his whole pant leg was drenched like up to his knee. So he stood up at the altar just giggling, because you got to know this guy, he giggles. He loves a good laugh. So he's there giggling. Oh, I'm being told my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully you guys can still hear me.
I can hear you, but you were froze for a second.
Oh, was I? Okay, yeah. So anyway, Pittman like puts his foot in the fountain by accident, and like almost, I'm pretty sure, drags a couple other groomsmen in.
Oh yeah,
because he didn't want to fall. So anyway, he stood there like pant leg dripping, completely soaked, just giggling, trying to hold it together. Every other groomsman is dying laughing. My husband's there like, fuck off, shut up, shut up. Here she comes. Like, and you know what? I'm so happy that happened, because that is a story. Like, it was just so funny. And now that's a story that everybody tells, and it just made the wedding fun and memorable, like it wasn't serious. And because of that, I think we had just the best day.
Oh my God, yes. It really was. Like, in all honesty, I mean, on a general basis, like, I've stood in a fair amount of weddings. I really have.
Oh, me too. Always a bridesmaid and one time a bride.
Right. Like 27 dresses over here. Exactly. No, but like realistically, I have stood in a fair amount. Now, I've never had anybody who is like a super bridezilla. Fortunately, I've been very lucky to have had friends who have asked me to stand for them that have not been psychotic. So that was good. Right. But I've heard some horror stories.
Yeah, I have too. And I mean, that's the thing. It's like, and when it comes to this, I guess I wasn't surprised, but I felt like I should be surprised when I read that poll and it said most people would have a problem with it, because I'm like, I get it that it's your day and it, you don't want it to take away from your day, but is it taking away or is it adding to it? I really think it comes down to perspective.
Yeah.
And, as much as it is your day, them getting engaged, it's just like this fun story that happened at your wedding. It's still your wedding. You're still the one getting married to, your husband or your wife or whoever. Like, let somebody else fucking get engaged.
Join the happy.
Yeah, they're not stealing your thunder. This ain't fucking Rachel and Monica. There's happiness. Yeah. There's enough happiness in the world for everybody.
But I think that's probably what it is. I think it's generally somebody who like feels that the day should be totally about them kind of thing. But then the funny part about it is kind of like, you think the day should be about you, but remember, you're marrying somebody else. So it's not about you.
It's not about you. It's about like you as a couple. Right. And then you also have all of these other people who you are inviting, like, to celebrate with you. So it's still your celebration. It's a celebration of you. And if somebody proposes at your wedding, if anything, that just makes it more about you, because they thought that was such a special enough night to do this grand gesture. Like, fucking jump on board. That sounds deadly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here for it. I think it's an adorable little thing to do, and I really don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, I think we need to ask Tracy when we talk next week, because maybe we do need somebody. Maybe, I mean, she might be on the exact same page as us too. I'm just kind of wondering, like, I'd love to talk to somebody who has the opposite opinion as well, to just kind of get their side.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to know why you feel that way. And I do fully believe, and I'm not saying that person is selfish for wanting the day to be about them. I can understand that too. Not at all. But that's just not how we are. You know what I mean? And
go with the flow, like,
to each their own, I say.
Yeah. This happened and it's cool. So fucking rock on,
Yeah. Right.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I read that and I was like, that would be a good topic for us to chat about, because it's interesting.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of interesting to think about other people's perspectives on that kind of stuff, because I would really love to hear somebody else's side of it. I'd like to know what goes through somebody's head when they're, you know what I mean? And I don't think they're wrong. I mean, you feel what you feel.
I'll listen with an open mind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to like change my mind. It's like, no, that's cool. Like, just tell me kind of like what you're thinking. But as I'm saying that now, I'm thinking about our other topic that we had talked about maybe discussing,
Mhm.
bald coochies. I
Yeah,
know it has nothing to, well, I guess it kind of has to do with weddings. So it's
sure
really
it does. Has to do with the honeymoon for sure.
Yes, it's really funny that that topic came up because I was actually going to mention this, I think, on another podcast when we were chatting before. And I was like, you know what? I fucking miss Brazilians. I miss my Brazilian wax. So, like, I mean, maybe 2MI, TMI, whatever. I don't care.
It's a little late for that on this pod.
Yeah, like let's be real. If you're still listening and you've heard other episodes, you might expect this. But no, I'm someone who loves a Brazilian.
Yeah.
So anybody who's listening, a Brazilian wax is a pubic hair wax, basically of your entire region, butthole included.
You're like a hairless cat.
Yeah, you go little nudie pants, right?
It is a hairless cat.
It's exactly Oh boy. Okay. So anyway, I can't shave like down there because I get
No.
bad razor burn.
Mhm.
It hurts, whatever. Like with a Bic, I should reiterate.
Yeah.
So anyway, I used to get Brazilians, my God, like fucking monthly, up to and including my pregnancy. Like, and after I was still getting them. So I think my last one pregnant was at like 32 weeks or something like that. And then I ended up having like an early labor and all this stuff. And then after, I think I got one or two, but I wasn't keeping up with as much, mostly because I was too fucking busy, honestly.
Busy.
I don't
Yeah.
want to, like, your C-section scar has to heal and all that sort of stuff. And then COVID hit, and my waxer, because she used to wax me from her basement,
Right.
and it sounded so sketchy, but she was honestly, oh, I've had a lot of Brazilians in my day, and is the best waxer I've ever had in my entire life. Like, you could go in full bush, hadn't had a wax in forever, and she'd have you in and out in like fucking 10 minutes, like in, pants off, wax on, wax off. You were out again, and it did not hurt as much as other people.
That's impressive.
I think I told you about her. Like, she's
Yeah.
phenomenal. So she was like my almost like a backyard fucking Brazilian fucking cheap wax. I don't know. It was very affordable, which is why I got it done all the time. So anyway, she messaged me and she was like, I can't do you anymore. Like, it's COVID. Like, obviously you're not allowed in my house. Like, things are shut down with like hair and stuff. I'm obviously shutting down too. But then she didn't start doing it again after COVID. She not after COVID, because we're still in a pandemic. So she just never picked back up doing it from her house. Anyway, I reached out to her recently because I fucking miss them. And I'm like, it's kind of a personal thing. Like, I don't want to have to go get to know a new waxer. Like, this girl has seen my vag. There is a number of people I would like to limit who have seen my vag. I kind of don't want to show it to the world. And I've got certain trusted people. So anyway, I write her to be like, hey, like, you going to start up waxing soon again? I mean, don't get me wrong. I groom. Like, it might be a little 70s, but it's beautiful and groomed nicely. Anyway, so I call her up and I'm like, hey, like, are you taking people on again? And she tells me that she is, but not in her house anymore, but she's now hired at a new salon.
Nice.
So she told me the name of her salon, and I would just like to say that I'm very fucking tickled. I'm going to go next week and have a bald coochie again.
Nice.
TMI to public listening, and this is definitely the episode to go viral if any of them do. Okay. So that mom and dad can be super proud of me. But
if they don't know you by now.
Yeah, because we posted in the group like this chat, and the comments were fucking hilarious about bald coochies. But like, it's something I kind of wonder, is that a thing where like all coochies have to be bald now, or is like a fucking little stripe and a little bit of hair okay?
Well, like, I mean, I feel like for a long time the landing strip was pretty common.
Yeah.
Like air traffic controllers, like this way,
showing you where to go. How do you rock a pube? Do you rock a pube, or you
it really all depends. Sometimes I go with the landing strip. Most of the time I definitely do like a Brazilian situation.
You wax yourself, correct?
I do.
You're still doing that?
I am still doing that, and I will continue to do that forever. Yeah, I will, because I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
You don't
it's
get
just
the
like, why
bubble
would I?
nerves right before you pull. You know what I mean? Like that fucking.
It's kind of like this, right? So like if you were in the bathroom with me,
Which I think I was one time. I feel like I remember being there while you waxed an area of your body. Was that happened? Did I dream that?
remember I did a bikini wax in the middle of the kitchen floor in my
Is
house?
that what it was? Yeah, I'm like, I remember being around you when you were waxing.
Yeah. But of course, it doesn't bother me when I'm
Don't
doing
eat
somebody else's.
indigestion for anybody listening.
Just don't eat off the floor.
She invite you over for dinner, say no.
Right? You never know what you're going to be served.
Holy
Um, but yeah, like mostly for the most part, I'm kind of like I kind of straggle between um fully full hairless
I thought you
and
were gonna say
then
full fro.
and then full fro because I'm just like, it's been a while. I should probably get at this.
I should trim this up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, gee.
So yeah, for the most part. But yeah, like when I'm it's funny when you're in the well, nobody's in the bathroom with me. It's just me and a mirror and the wax pot.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a like work up to it because I'll just sit there and I'll just be like, okay, I'm just gonna like rub the wet because I use hot wax, right?
Thank God.
So I put that on.
Fucking nightmare.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, I put the wax on, put the strip down, and I, smooth it in the direction that it's supposed to go or whatever. And then I do this quick little, yeah, I swear to God, I pull it tight and I go, rip. And then I go, ooh.
I think there would be a hesitation, and there's nothing worse than a hesitation. So if I try to do it myself, I would definitely do the, and then I'd go to rip and I would 100% stop halfway, and it would be 10 times worse.
So much worse.
Like, so the painful part, so anybody listening who's never had one, the painful part is not your actual, like, we'll call it what, the lip section. I don't know the fucking real terms for my vagina. I should. I'm not that educated.
The vulva.
The vulva. Yeah. So you would think that would be the most painful. It's really not. It's actually your pubic bone, like in between your hips. So not even what I would call like a sexual place. Like,
no,
just under your belly is the part that's the most painful. And it is.
Or like where everything meets, like where you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like right at the very, like where the fold starts.
Yeah, see, I don't find that painful.
Oh,
I don't find that part painful. It's just, for me, it's honestly, it's like she could wax down there all day and it's like, it's fine. It's just get it hairless. But like the V, it's almost like the V part, like that leads to it. That would normally be a landing strip, we'll say. That section is what hurts the most. Like, and it fucking smarts.
Most of mine doesn't really bother me anyway at this point because it's like, number one,
that's the thing too.
It's been such a long time that I've been doing it that like at this point it grows in. It's kind of like a I don't know, a pubescent boy trying to grow a beard.
Yeah.
It's a little patchy.
I am so turned on by this conversation. It's funny too, because anybody who's still listening, if there's any dudes still listening who are like, oh, they're going to talk about vaginas, I'm going to listen. I want to hear about these Brazilians.
Just ruined it for you.
You've been turned off from the second we said like fucking 70s or retro, whatever the fuck we said. Like,
some people love that. That's their jam.
But I mean, the other thing is, jam. What a pun. The other thing is too, like, I think a lot of guys, I feel like they just don't care.
No.
Like, I think this is a poll that we should have, because I think it's mostly for the women. Like, I don't get Brazilians. Like, my husband loves them, he appreciates it, but I don't get them for him. Like, it's totally a personal, because let me tell you, there is no better feeling than walking out of a salon or someone's basement, apartment, living room,
right?
Depending on where you get your wax done, no judgment. But there is nothing better than walking out after getting a fresh Brazilian. It's not like you're showing it off. Like, most days I could be in a pair of my fucking like gray jogger. Most days I am. If I'm going to get that done, I'm wearing baggy pants because like it can be a little
just in case.
But like, you're walking out of that, and I swear to fuck, I'm there in my tapered bottom gray joggers and my tank top and probably a baseball hat, and I feel like Beyonce. I start walking like she does in Crazy in Love. Like, and my hair, it doesn't even have to be windy. Somehow my hair just starts flowing back. Like I am model material after that happens. It's just like, and maybe that's why I felt just not myself over this last COVID age, because there's just something sexy about it. Like, again, it's not even that you're doing it for somebody else, but like, it just feels,
No.
like you feel better, confident.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part, I just feel, I don't know, lighter and airier, honestly. Like
Lighter.
like I lost 5 pounds.
Like
Like
you're just wearing skirts to see if it'll catch a breeze and just
that's
fucking.
that's what I mean. That's what it feels like. I'm gonna always catch a breeze. That's what it feels like.
You're more aerodynamic.
Yeah, right. But
Run faster.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's a thing, but maybe I'll test it out.
I'm not saying it's
You
not.
know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a thing. What I am saying,
I think it makes you friskier too. And I mean, this is something we can talk about in our sexuality episode, but like, I definitely think that like if you feel confident and you feel like, for me, I think it's a cleanliness too. Like it just feels cleaner. It feels better. It's confident. Like, and it makes you more aware of your own body. I
yeah,
find.
and maybe that's it too. Mostly, I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. I just like, there's less friction. Like there's a whole lot of, I don't know. It's just kind of like, okay, well, if I rub something like this,
Mhm. Yeah.
like, and for people who can't see, I'm rubbing my hair, like my scalp,
Very
right?
aggressively, might I
Very
add.
aggressively, very aggressively. But if I go like this,
Yeah.
as opposed to my forehead,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's two different things, isn't
yeah,
it?
that feels, well, you're maybe onto something. I
That's what I'm
think
saying.
we just fucking hammered down a way weirder audience than what we originally have.
Well, I mean,
We appreciate you folks. We love you all. Anybody who's
and if you're still with us, you're welcome.
you're rock stars if you're still with us. But yeah, honestly, like I'm just so anyway, I'm just fucking that's something that I have very much missed during the pandemic that I could not be happier to have back in business.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've still been rocking mine in the bathroom. So
I'd like to, yeah. I can't do this. I mean, I can just I'm a self groomer, people. I'm not fucking gross.
there's a
I'm not
difference
gross,
between
but like
trimming the hedges, though. You
exactly.
know?
Yeah. Full difference. And that's the thing that I miss is it's the wax. It's the wax of it. There's a difference in shaving, there's a difference in trimming, like all of that. The wax is just the superstar, right?
Well, it is because like when it comes back,
Mhm.
it's like, well, it's the
So
same.
soft.
Well,
So
it's the
soft.
same as like a new grown hair. Like
Mhm.
when you look at the, say, like the structure of a piece of hair, the very end of your hair is like it's almost like a tapered tip, right? If you were to look at it under a microscope, say, right? So it grows back that way. That's the way that it's supposed to be. Whereas if you go and you shave it or like trim it or whatever you're going to do, it's just cutting it off like straight across, right? So you get this hard, like, it's just stiff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. Anyway, it just sucks.
I'm about to be a huge boner killer. And I'm fucking dying
Well, I'm
because
excited.
so there's one thing about it. So when you get a Brazilian, I need to know your experience about this.
Okay.
It is a full wax, like the whole area, asshole included, right?
Yeah. Okay.
First of all, can I just say that the asshole does not hurt?
No, not at all.
It doesn't hurt you, right? Because
Nope.
everybody's like anybody I've talked to who's never had one, they're like, oh my God, your asshole. Like, yeah, if you can't see it, hair does grow back there. It's normal. It's a fucking, that's just humans grow hair on their butthole. But when you wax it off, it doesn't hurt for one.
No.
So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about it, and I don't know if you have the same thing, but my first day after a wax, my farts are so loud.
Yes.
Aren't they so loud? If you get waxed, if you get a Brazilian and you fart, they sound so wet. They're just like the wettest, loudest, grossest sounding fart.
It's just cheek slapping.
That's what it sounds like. It is the worst. And my husband fucking laughs so hard at me because I'll be like, I'll get a Brazilian and he'll like look at me and I'll fart because like anybody who listens to this knows that Crystal and Jason don't fart in front of each other.
No.
But my husband, and he got the luck of the draw and I'm his wife, so I fart in front of him.
Right.
But like if I I'll get a wax and he'll know because I'll fart. Did you have an appointment today? Like, you freshly waxed down there? Like, it's echoing over here. It's echoing. So I kind of want to know if other women experience that too, or if that's just me and you.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Like,
There's no way. There's nothing to like damper.
Yeah.
There's well, okay. So I'm
Even
gonna
if
put it
it's
to you like this.
silent, it comes out like a fucking loud.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. Okay. And here comes a classic Crystal analogy. Okay. So upstairs in my house.
She's not farting, by the way. That's her chair.
That's my chair.
She just had an ass wax today. She's good. Go ahead. Carry on.
Upstairs in my house, I'm right above me is my living room. Yeah. Right. So once upon a time, the sound didn't reverberate down here when we had carpet. Right. But then we got laminate, and all of a sudden you can hear everything. Yeah. Same thing. There's no carpet.
I was waiting for a story for you to be like, so one time I farted after a wax and my husband heard it on the couch.
No. This is just an analogy. It's simply
that's so true. And it's like
carpeted versus not carpeted.
Landlords will put carpet down so that, the basement tenants don't hear them.
Sound deadening.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
So
you're welcome.
Anyway, if you're ever here, okay, guys, listen up. You want to know how to tell if a girl has a waxed vagina? Listen to how loud her fart is. If she's got a really loud fart, you are fucking good to go. So a real loud fart shouldn't gross you out. It should turn you on. Okay.
Points.
Yes, points.
Yes, points.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So that's definitely a poll that we're gonna need to put forth. I want to know what guys prefer, if it matters. Not what they prefer. If it matters, if it's something that they even think about, or are they just like, pussy. Like, they're like, where can I put it? Like, I don't care. Is there hair? Clear a path. Just let me put it in. I just want to put it in and take it out and then put it back in and then take it out and then put it back in and rub it around and then take it out and then put it back in.
Yeah.
That's how guys.
That's exactly it.
Don't you dare. What were you just doing then? Crystal had her phone up. I'm assuming you were just doing a boomerang.
Just a picture. Yeah, it was just a picture.
Anyway, she's fired off the podcast anyway. I know. Anyway, so that's a good topic. What were some of the things that I read though this was like on a thread. This is where this all came from, this conversation. So there was somebody wrote and said, are bald coochies still in? Maybe it's a TikTok thing. We need to get on TikTok.
I think it was. Yeah.
So this one girl said, shave it bald, lasts a few days and then grow it out for a month. Anyone else? And I'm like, yeah, but it's because you need to grow it out to like, well, I guess if you're waxing it versus
I'm with her. That's kind of what happens. But to be fair,
the one that made me laugh the most. Sorry, go ahead. You said to be fair.
I just think it's just because I'm a parent.
You've got too much to do.
Like eventually,
I have to. I'm totally gonna shout out our favorite queers right now, Dee and Megan, because I'm going to videotape this section and put it on our Instagram and tag them to get their opinion. But this is my favorite answer to the bald coochie question. This girl goes, being a lesbian, I like to shave it into a plaid-like pattern. We're really committed to flannel.
I died and immediately thought of Dee.
Oh, she's always talking about her plaid and her denim on denim, and that is her her lesbian outfit. Oh my God.
Her uniform.
It's their uniform. Yeah. Okay. I like that one. This one is I grow it out and I donate it to men who can't grow beards.
Listen, my bald spots could accentuate or my patches could accentuate some man's bald spot. It could be great. It could be
my other favorite one. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No, I just can't stop now.
Oh Jesus Christ, she's got the nighttime sillies. Another comment was, "Are bald coochies still in?" I think they do a middle part now. Oh my god! Another
I
one
like.
said, "What am I doing with mine? Nothing. When my partner is done, he shouts Jumanji to leave the jungle."
The comments is the best.
The
Like,
internet is still good for something, folks. It's still good.
married 15 years. I've let the forest reclaim the land. Oh my god. I'm like, who are these people? And can we be their friends?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the one who said, "I'm always cold, so I use mine as a lap blanket." We were doing curtain bangs, no?
Right.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, if you're wondering what that is, that's a post that we shared on our Facebook page, and it can still be found on our Facebook page. It's a group, I believe. It's not like a
It
page.
is a group, yeah.
Yeah, it's a group that we created, Two Girls, One Pod. But I think I'm going to screenshot these and put them on our Instagram tomorrow when this airs. So today. So if you're listening to this, you'd be able to go into our stories and look at these pages because that's just fucking gold.
It's gold. It is.
Also. And as always, if you have any topics that you'd like to hear our opinions on, serious or humorous, feel free to DM us or send us an email. Give us a call. My number is pretty public, actually. I had
Yeah.
Some people. I had a guy call to yell at me last week. I don't think I told you that. He was a seller for a person's house. I had a client who was buying.
Right.
I think I might have said that on the thing.
Yeah.
He was mad that the sale fell apart, and he called me to let me know what he thought of me. And I just thought it was so funny because the other agent's like, "I did not give him your phone number." And I'm like, "I know, we're realtors. Our numbers are extremely public.
Very public. Yeah.
It's fine." So yeah, can you tell me what you want to hear about on the pod?
Right. Let us know.
Whatevs. We're down to chat.
We are. And even if it is a serious topic, there's a pretty decent chance we're going to butcher it into something semi-funny. I mean, we try.
We can't turn off the awesome, you know? We have a level of fucking fantastic that we like to think that we are, and no, but whatever. You know, so there is a level of greatness that we just can't turn down. So we might have a laugh. Whether other people think we're as funny as we do, I don't know. But hey, we got like fucking 30 odd viewers on YouTube. So somebody else thinks we're funny or interesting.
I mean, definitely. And also, pro tip. If you go back for your 6-week checkup after having a child, you should take care of that business, and then maybe you'll get complimented and be told you're a pleasure to look at.
Can we explain the context behind that comment, because it's my favorite thing? Go ahead.
Yeah, we were I went back for my 6-week checkup after having Harper, and I think
that your 6 week.
Right? Well, yeah, they do like the old internal good old checking.
Sure girl's all good.
Yeah, right. Checking to make sure Miss Lucy's all good to go again.
Miss Lucy's after tightening back up.
Well, I mean, she couldn't have been in bad shape. I had a C-section.
Oh my God. Okay, continue.
But so of course I went it was my 6-week checkup, so I went to go and I did my usual bathroom grooming. Full-on Brazilian. I went in to go get checked out, and yeah, my gynecologist told me that I was a pleasure to look at.
So I mean, of all people to say that your vagina looks good, a gynecologist,
it's right up there.
That's like fucking Dave Chappelle saying you're funny.
Exactly. Cream of the crop here. You know what I'm saying?
Highest compliment. Like, that makes me
now. It was either the highest compliment or she sees some seriously stately snatches. I don't know.
The other thing, And I mean, I don't want to burst your bubble because I'm sure you have a gorgeous vagina. I bet it's beautiful. But the other thing was that like she had seen you had just had a section, and she's a gynecologist who checks people after the 6 week checkup. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that vaginas get mangled during a delivery of a baby. So, I'm sure it was a pleasure to look at, but maybe she had just seen a super extreme wrecked one with like,
Maybe
someone,
it's all blown out.
some woman who had like a fucking 12-pounder or something. You know what I mean? Like that shit's not healing in 6 weeks. I don't care
No.
who you are.
Yeah.
So, that was the case. Maybe she was like, oh, this is a nice
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah. It didn't sound like a breath of fresh air.
Oh God.
Okay, on that note, we've got the sillies. We've got them. We're gonna have to dance our way out because
It's time.
Pray. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Tune in 3 nights a week for our Big Brother after show, and every Friday for a fresh episode Friday where we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Exactly.
Why the fuck not?
Right.
I think that needs to be our new sign off
tagline at the end.
Yeah. So what? Your farting chair is just killing me, especially because we had the conversation about wet farts and bald assholes. All right, guys, get ready to dance. So we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.